I think that this is the fastest possible that you can reach the turn limit. Holy crap. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? Boy, do I have a sweet video for you today. I'm thinking you probably have no idea who those champions are in the thumbnail, but either way, thank you so much to Plarium for allowing me on the test server so I can bring you this insanely cool team. This has got to be the coolest team that I've showcased in a long time. I want to give a big shout out to my dude Toaster. He's been messaging me like nonstop for like the last 2 days, and we've been working on this team with different ideas. I'm going to tell you a lot of the ideas that we had, and we're going to take a look at the team as well. But as you saw in the thumbnail, we are going to be working with a brand new champion to the game that most people probably don't even know is in the game, and that is Senna Amberheart. And when you look at her kit, you would not expect the things that you're going to see today. It just looks very bland, okay? A1, she can instantly activate a continuous heal buff on each ally. It is going to be a 60% chance. A2, increased speed, continuous heals, turn meter fill. All of that seems great. We have tons of champions who do that. This is where her kit starts to get interesting. Her revive is the only one in the game that has an ally attack on it. Teams up with all allies revived by this skill to attack the enemy with the lowest HP, which is great because typically the people who die are your damage dealers. So your damage dealers die and then she revives them. I think we could build a really squishy team to take more advantage of this. I would be pretty excited to test that out as well, but she's not going to use this unless there are dead allies, and that's what I love. Now here's where things get crazy. And this is so underrated. Look at this passive. Whenever a continuous heal buff activates on an ally, fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So this is the continuous heal speed combo that I'm going to share with you today that Toaster and I developed just for you guys, all right? And if you have these champions, I'm just so excited for this to be built on your account. I'm so excited for it. It's going to help so many people. Please, please share with anybody you know who has Senna. Please share, because they need this. At the end of this champion's turn, increases the duration of a continuous heal buff on a random ally except this champion for 1 turn. And that doesn't seem very good either, but trust, it really is strong. I also love her speed in all battles, Aura. Now, the champion that we are going to combo with her is a Vault Warrior. You have not ever built this champion, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on the internet to make a video about him. But let me know if I'm wrong. I will link that video at the end here, so if you want to see that exciting adventure as well, go ahead and watch that after this video. Oh, pardon, Clanfather. You never thought in your life you would see this guy in a video, in a team, let alone me telling you he's freaking awesome, okay? A1, he has a chance to decrease the turn meter. We don't care about that for Hydra. 50% chance of filling his turn meter, which turns to 60. And with how many attacks he's going to get on his A1, this is going to proc a lot. AoE heals all allies by 10% of his max HP, which is great because he's an HP-based champion. Heals all allies under continuous heal buffs by 15% instead. This is kind of like his damaging ability. He does have decent multipliers. I know you won't believe me until you see the damage, but he is one of the best HP-based nukers in the game. Granted, like anybody else you've heard of, Magnar, White King Narcisse, obviously Terrace, they're all better than him, but I would put him on par with like a Sir Nicholas type of damage, and he used to be, back in the day, the #1 HP-based damage dealer. Now, here's where it starts getting sweet. He is a cleanser, okay? He places continuous heal, and then, you know, removing the other part of the cleansing, all right? Okay? So, the passive is what makes this so important. Each time a continuous heal buff heals an ally, fills that ally's turn meter by 5%. Every time, we're going to be getting so much turn meter boosts. Okay, let's go jump in and see the rest of the team, and we'll talk about other options for you as well. Okay, let me first state that we're not messing around here. We're going to go on Nightmare Hydra so I can prove to you how good this is. I know sometimes content creators go on hard or normal, and you are skeptical about the validity of the team. So I'm not saying I won't do that in the future, because sometimes that's what you need to do, but we can really rock this on Nightmare, and I'm so excited for it. Here's the team. Senna with Opardin, and we're going to use Cecia in there. #1, we like champions that take extra turns, hence the Relentless, hence the Cecia, and some other of these champions as well, because then they're going to be cycling through, activating those continuous heals, boosting the whole team. We also have Nikmothar in here. He is the most easily replaced one, in my opinion. I think this could be Estrid. I think I wanted to put Shamrock in there, but I already had Nikmo built in Provoke, as you'll see here later in the video, and that's pretty important to the team. We have only Provoke from Nikmo and Krisk, and I think that Krisk could easily be replaced with Wixwell. Krisk is in a Curse set, so you will see that Hex debuff here as well, and I'll make sure that I show the builds at the end of the video, so stick around so you can see the builds. But Krisk, important. He's going to extend our buffs. He's going to provoke. Most importantly, he's the mischief target. But I think Wixwell would do a great job there as well if you wanted to replace Krisk with Wixwell. A lot of our damage is probably going to come from Athorion here, Wallmaster dude. And if you take him out, you really need to find somebody else who's going to do really good damage for you while also bringing stuff to the team. You don't need Cecia. I think that she's great in this team, but she can be replaced. Basically, the only two champions you need for this team is Senna and Opardin. You can mix and match the rest of the team, but make sure you have Provoke, block debuffs. You would really like increased speed and decreased speed, and you're going to need some type of damage dealer. I know a lot of people have recently got Wallmaster Athorion from various events, and so this is a roster that you could potentially have. And then customize it according to what you want, okay? Wither is an excellent champion that I could not fit in here. Actually, let's go back and talk about a couple other champions before we jump into the run. Wither is a champion that Toaster and I talked about a lot early on in this process because she activates the continuous heals. I just couldn't justify her. You know, like, she does have an AoE A1, and she, you know, does all the continuous heal stuff, all of that stuff. That's great. And I love it, but, like, I just don't feel like she brings enough to your team. But you could, like, if you don't have a Nikmo, you don't have any of those other related champions, you can definitely use her and then maybe put her in one of these important sets like Hex or Provoke, something to help you out with another ability, because really all she does is cleanse and do continuous heals and stuff. So I couldn't find a way to fit her in, but she is sweet. Tuhanarok is one of the champions I do not have that's, like, good and important. But we talked about her, you know, in that spot as well. And especially if you don't have Wallmaster, you could put Tuhanarok in the Nikmo spot and then bring another type of damage dealer, I think that would be very good. She'll help out with the Fearhead. You know, obviously she's good. She does all the things. And then last but not least is going to be our Bannerlord. And I just didn't want to use him. I did not want to use him for you guys because I know that a lot of people would be mad about it. But I do think Terrace would do everything that you want in this team. So, for example, if you were putting in 2 Hanorok, then you could also put in Terrace maybe. Or somebody else, like, there's a lot of good options, basically. But people who extend buffs are going to be great. Your normal damage dealers are going to be great. I think Michinaki in this team would have been sick. So, like, there's just so many options. Obviously, your good Hydra champions are going to be good. Alright, so let's jump in. Let's see a little bit of the beginning of the run. And then we will fast forward it for you guys. So what you're going to notice here is that you're going to see all of these blue turn meter boosts. And you're going to notice us taking so many turns. Now, when the Fearhead is in there, you will lose some turns due to the fears. But we do have Opardon to cleanse them for us. And in addition, skipping turns is not the worst in this team. You can see all of these blue turn meter boosts are from these 2 passives really working together in an insane way. Such synergy, it's ridiculous. We're going to keep up these debuffs on here. We're going to cycle through our abilities. And we're going to do some really solid damage. Like, okay, Opardon's probably going to be the #1 damage dealer, but you're still going to see pretty good numbers from everybody else. If Opardon's A3 was an attack, and not just the buffs, man, he would actually be good. So, Plarium, if I could make a recommendation about this to help everybody out, change Opardon's A3 to also being a damaging attack. And that will bring him out of the vault and make him usable on so many other people's accounts. I would love to see him buffed because I have always thought he was a cool champion. So you're going to see us extending all these buffs, boosting the turn meter. Like, it's boss count turn 5. And like, how many turns have they actually taken? They've taken so few turns. It's crazy. Like, okay, when we were working on this team and we were developing, you know, who are we going to choose? We had said the whole time, it's got to be Opardon and Senna is the main combo. But even when we were talking about it, I did not expect it to be this good. But Toaster the whole time was like, we need to keep going. We need to figure this out. When can we make this video? And I'm so grateful for that. So one of my favorite things to do in the world is to showcase weird, interesting, cool strategies like this and bring you guys this awesomeness into the community. That's what I love doing here on the channel. And so if you have a cool, interesting strategy or idea, if you built a team that's really cool, I want to see it and I want to showcase it, and I would be happy to work with you on it as well. So again, we are on the test server here. I think that's still on screen. Yes. But you know, this will work just as well on the normal main servers. Okay. I think that this is better than all of my test runs so far, this start, which must mean that we didn't get feared as much as in my other runs. So look forward to some crazy damage here. I'm sure you have questions on this team, but I don't know what they are. So let me know what they are, and then I can answer them. I'm sure Toaster's going to be active in the comments as well. I will say the team that he wanted to use was Senna, Opardon, Wither, Hanorok, Cecia, and Terrace. So that could be another version of the team as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. As usual, I'll stick my head in here and hit you with some updates along the way if needed, especially if we can get the revive on Senna to show on camera, because I think that that's one of the coolest parts that's super underrated about this team as well. Getting 3%ed there against Krisk, that's pretty rough. I'm going to have to take a look at his gear. Maybe we need to increase his resistance for Nightmare. I was running this Krisk on Brutal, so you don't need quite as much resistance, although it is pretty close. That's a little bit of bad luck. We got the Fearhead over here with the freaking Poison Cloud, so that's probably going to lower our damage a little bit, but you're going to see that this is the best way to hit the turn limit. This is the easiest way to hit the turn limit that I've ever seen. We're taking so many extra turns that we are going to easily hit the turn limit. I actually think this is the fastest that you can hit the turn limit in Nightmare Clan Boss. So let's skip ahead and see what kind of awesome damage this team is capable of. But man, I'm already impressed. Okay, we're nearing the end of the run here, and actually somebody died. So did we get to see the ally attack on screen? I hope so. I'm going to have to go back and watch that clip and see if we actually did the ally attack revive, because that's sweet. I mentioned that it was a possibility that could happen in this run, and definitely was. Hopefully we take enough turns here to free our last champion. We had quite a bit of RNG that was bad in order to get into this spot. We had the Poison Cloud land. We had Wrath, his stuff land without block buffs. You can see the reflect damage over here. Well, are we going to get to see it again? Is Opardon going to die? Or is he going to... Okay, he died. Now let's get to see that ally attack. There it is. Yes. Okay, revive ally attack. It can definitely happen. And especially if you get these buffs snuck in here on you, then you can see what's possible. But yeah, we're ending the turn limit. We're coming up to the turn limit, that's what I'm saying. And this is boss count 131. So yeah, I don't think there's any team that can possibly get to the turn limit quicker than this team. I mean, let me know in the comments. Definitely let me know what you think about the team as well. So I'm going to flip to the damage screen here, and we'll see the final damage on this freaking awesome team. All right, we're coming up to the turn limit here on 43 minutes, basically full auto as well, which is insane. And man, just like seeing how many turns this team takes is insane. I think now, at the end of the video here, we maybe could even fit in somebody like Geralt in this team. With us taking so many turns, that would really take advantage of that. I'm not sure we could fit like Mikage and Oboro into this team, but that could be an option as well. The slow Oboro really benefits from Mikage taking all of those turns. So I think that this is just scratching the surface of what's possible with this team. And this damage, wowzers, I was not expecting this. I was hoping we were going to hit 100 million. Like, this is like some serious damage numbers, right? And I think that the team is really customizable to who you have on your account. Here we're coming up to the turn limit, almost 350 million damage. Just like absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And if you said that Othorion was going to have the majority of the damage, you were right, okay? And so, like, obviously, he's our enemy max HP champion. He's cycling through his abilities there. But Cecia with 45, Krisk 53, Opardon 26, Nikmo 19. I think Nikmo is the spot that is the easiest to change. So if I was going to change somebody in the team, I think that would be the one. But then we would not have decreased speed. So, I'm not sure. I want to do it, but I also... If you start changing one thing, then you got to change a lot of different things. But that would be probably the first thing I would look at changing is that Nikmo spot. It's possible that Cecia's not the best here, and you could put somebody else in, especially if you're changing Nikmo. You could change Cecia. But either way, let's go take a look at the gear on these champions. I promised you we would see that. The speeds are a little bit high, and I do have some, decent gear on them. But also, if you don't have this much gear, like, you can run it on a lower difficulty. You can just get less damage. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that this team is really customizable to your account if you are lucky enough to get Senna. And dude, she's so freaking cool. All right, let's start with Nikmo here because I had to search him up. The rest I had used, and they'll be easy to find. I have just my normal provoke build on him, with basically the focus being speed and accuracy. If you can fit in a little crit stats, that's fine, but if not, it's also fine. He doesn't really do good damage. I have him at 274, and you want at least 350 accuracy, but it doesn't hurt to have a bit more for that consistency, and you want somebody in the team with cruelty. So that was an easy fit for Nikmo. And then his masteries is just normal stuff, counterattack and War Master. Okay, then jumping into the rest of the team, we have Wall Master with some War Master masteries. We have the Slayer set on him, which is really, really good if you can do it. If not, just do Relentless or Speed. Whatever the case might be is fine. But his multipliers are pretty low, so actually the more damage you can get on him, the better. As you can see, I wanted to fit Shamail into the team, but I don't know if we need it or not. You can let me know what changes you would make to this team in the comments for sure. I fit a 9-piece Merciless set on Opardin. It's not the best. It's definitely not the best. Like, we have an attack ring, we have a 5-star crit damage amulet, we have a crappy Merciless banner, but it is HP, with speed and HP, but it's pretty bad. The rest of the gear is decent, though, and his total stats are 253, only 92% crit rate. It was my plan to put a crit rate buff in the team, but then I didn't get around to it, so he had 92% crit rate. I think that's something we should definitely work on. It's not the best, but I'm just showing you what we did, He doesn't need accuracy. He could have resistance. That does make him quite a bit easier to build. And then he has some damage masteries coming down into Helm Smasher here. Next up, we have my Krisk build. He has War Master and support, and then Lightning Cage so that he draws in that... oh, wait, that's not the right one. This one. Still the same, except this one's counterattack and War Master. And then Lightning Cage to draw the Mischief to him even more. I love the Cursed build, but anybody can be in Cursed. You could put your Wall Master in Cursed or whoever. You could put Cecia in Cursed easily. Because sometimes Krisk's stats are hard to get because you need resistance and accuracy. And really, 450 is the minimum resistance, but 500 is better. So actually, I haven't updated this build in a while. I would look to try to get some more resistance on there. Let's take a look at that Cecia build. She's just in Relentless and Speed. Let's try to take extra turns. 269 and not that much damage. We definitely could put more damage on her. As you can see, the minimum 350 accuracy. And then we will get a boost from my Live Arena Great Hall. But I did have Relentless and Speed also on Senna. And then Senna's stats, I tried to make her really, really fast. So 331. The faster you can make these champions, the better. So however much speed and damage you can put on Opardin, do it. However much speed you can put on Senna, do it. I made sure that she was defensive, and I actually kind of wish I had put resistance on her, just because obviously we don't want our Reviver to die. If your Reviver dies, then what's the point of having a Reviver? So I made sure she was tanky with HP percent on both the gloves and the chest. So what do you think of this sweet turns combo with continuous heals and Senna. Again, big shout out to my dude Toaster for letting me work with you on this team. Thank you so much for coming to me with this idea, and it was an absolute pleasure here to showcase this on the test server. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video.